Namono sana mwanchu mulia beta seni kia Ndizi TV no basemera kwanu na kwabere kugutwara uburigeria obia nebiro binde na ndengo kwaligania asemesa ya mangana maya eli ndengo manye nare yabereka gokorekana korwa chingongo chensi inye chensi hastinse mo chiche mitandao asense mo ya Facebook na bagotonyora wetera Ndizi TV News Digital na baga sense media YouTube wetera Ndizi TV News hasense mo ya website na bagotonyora wetera www.ndizitv.net editorial Fridah Kerubo na Chinsa mo chebyorokele nigotokubwatanere Joshua Auta chinga kitoro che aboro kigwa bagendete kwirana eskuru ase tamu yabo ya kabere nigo aboro ki ababoriwe korenda abanabo chinga kichiga balensi yoborai bwabo nabo kubasemia obaseme kigima nabo kwaneke mnango enyorera bale amasoma abo asinchira endonge nabo asense moyende ase taro ya matuko abere muraibense Dr. William Ruto na boigo omorugio yere Ruto yobataltense meria Israel asbabete bakumerana no muraibense yo Isaac Hazok linde gotinya obokoleri asegati ye Chinsa chibere na boigo chinga kitoro che magayo kogoserera korubikana korwa ase ekyumbe y'abanyagitali ya KMPDU bona nigo beso kiribene na boigo kwa serikali chingaki hasoko eneke buna ngotumika bale chingaki cyabo bene na boigo gwikerania amaganiabo naboigo omugavana we county ya Kakamega Fernandes Barasa bono nigo atuguteirale okubole gwe serikali ase okonachwa okwenyorera kwengere ya kira lituko ase kerengo geisato igoro yemia mwancho muligeria ayo ngati yali ngowa liganeretie ase omugasolero kulende toska tonyegera gwirana ndase kekerbosio elinde ngomanye amange Singaki aborokiwa bagendete kuirana eskuru ase etamu yabo ya kabere nigo aborokia baboligwe ko balinda ase enchira endonge nabo igo kwene kibunanko babale obosemia kigima boigo nigo eserikali yaberege kuboligwa kuligereria endagera aborokiwa bagutumika ase eskuru anemono chinga kitwaralire ebikoro abikwene kigwa ase abange babere bagusiria obugima bwabo kubwatikana n'endagera babere bakulia ase skuru waigonigo umuraibense aboliwe kuligereria chinjira chinya cyokorose uchumi anamono chingaki abayiboli bagendete kweumia ase ngencho yogosai abana babo ase skuru
bono ntoroche ng'abana baigwire skuru wale gusaba abarimu mobe ake abarimu abaya mogosemia abana na kubarekebisha ase enchira y'omuntu manyeke buko keroro mwana tutureke igo tari ogoita abana abnormal ogosaba kwane buno omubiri nkoringa irangiye yandoro namana twanyareko batubwene kia Gusii abana baitu bare skuru nande asense moyo kuragera tindagera ndwarocha mangana abira skuru awa abana bakuri ndagere nesimu igo nari gusaba serikali eyero ya Ruto bana areko baba ku employ abantu tombariska abasomere to public health babe kwazi skuru chonzi banyara ko baba ko pima tindagera na mate nyuma abana batarari asengenzo those vacancies sinchirora na abantu mbariska abasome asoro ngomurito rwa Kenya nari abana baito bagasie kwasi asense moyo utumya maana twanyare yure igogo sinyonya ngana machora aberekia abana banyubarare gusina magena togocha kwachora para chinche tuberie tware gusaba nje buno moibori kwanya baya baibori Ruto orengereri mono ina kiogo para mangana ya uchumi tari okukwana omuntu gosanye ndagera ngogwere na ndagera tiyanya kugwa nande origereri sana asingencho economy ya Kenya bono nguchiera ko babunomo ebiyo chikotobeka tobe na state of financial inflation etari
Omurai bwense Dr. William Ruto na boigo omurugio yere Cheruto niko bagendete gutarira Chinsa erinde gutinya obokoreri igati ya Kenya na boigo Chinsa cho nigo litkole igoro babete bagutarira ense ya Israel asibabete bakumirana no murai bwense yokorukwanere Isaac Hazok okwana kora Chinsa mecho nigo babete gakwiraniria mono gochia ase omurai bwense o Israel Isaac ase ogwa na korusia ebitango ebyo bikoirera obonchereria koirananse na boigo gotanga ebinto korusiwa asense ya Kenya gochia ase ense ya Israel boigo nigabetega kuri eira gochaka omutinyo gocha nachikone kimna obokoreri korwa asense ya Kenya gochia ase ense ya Israel wabere bogokorekana ase enchira endonge anomono asoko enekebna amananasi chi avocado na igati ebinde binge ngorusiwa bire korwa asense ito
Mr. President, I also wish to thank you for agreeing during our discussion today on the need to eliminate barriers that have impeded the export of our products into the Israeli market. I am particularly grateful to the Prime Minister, my good friend Bibi, for the assurance he has given today that exports of pineapples will begin early next month from Kenya to Israel. Let me also say that again today we agreed that the impediments and the hurdles that have been on the way that limit the export of our tea, our coffee, our avocados, pineapples, as I have said, will now be removed so that we can expand trade and exports both ways to Israel and your products to Kenya.
Chinga kiecho oboigo nigo omurai bwense ya Israel Isaac Hazok abeteka kogokera etareyo asingencho yokonekebna ngotinya bale obokoreri gati ye Chinsa echibere okwana nigo abeteka kwiraniria mono ase ense ya Kenya ase obokoreri bwabo na boigo kogokia abange asoko batarera kurinde niga abeteka kuri eira kubwaterana n'ense ya Kenya asogonchiriria obokoreri na boigo kogendereria Chinsa.
And like Jerusalem, which has inspired humanity, beautiful Kenya has captured the imagination of people throughout the world for as long as history itself. Yes, it is home to some of the most fascinating prehistoric discoveries that answer some of humanity's most pressing questions about its origins, your state, Kenya. But historical developments also put Kenya at powerful cultural and economic intersections of civilizations that have positioned it to broadly influence the unfolding human story. It is therefore not in the slightest bit surprising that one of the first conceptual drafts of Zionism was to opt for a national home for the Jewish people in your land. Of course, it was called the Uganda plan, but it was actually the Kenya plan. And maybe, who knows, we may have been now neighbors together. Although absolutely impossible because of our unique connection to this holy land. But still, it clearly highlights the many points of contact and similarity between our peoples. In other words, Mr. President and First Lady, we are more than partners. We are clearly mishpacha, family. So, with your remarkable nation and our incredible nation, we can do so much together, and together your visit makes this option so viable. Let us therefore raise a toast to the deep roots that connect us, to the present that calls to us, and the future that awaits us. And let us say, L'chaim.
Magega yokogosereria kurubikana wananigo abaraikuru ase kiumbe kiabanyagitari gia KMPDU besokiri bene na baigo gonchereria na gusikia mutu okurubikana uko asikeri bagate abuna nigo baganetie kwa serikali chingaki aso gwikirania amagani abo agukwana umurikyo munene bw'ikiumbe kyo Davji Atela nigo abagakoboria umuwaziri gwikirania eira yaye ase abagakwenekimna goika weekend na barachikwenyorera engere yabo nabo kuba mentera abanyagitari.
The CS promised that these interns will be paid by 22nd, that is next week. They also promised that these interns will be posted in the next 2 weeks. We want to say that in our discussion today, even if we are going to continue discussing on this issue of suspending the strike of the interns, these dates are committed. This, in essence, compromises the much-needed quality health care in our public hospitals. Yet we have the skills of the doctors that otherwise will be helping in reducing those lines in different facilities in the country. As per the agreement of the National Veterinary Council, if these matters continue, then we will not have any further engagement but to go for a nationwide industrial action. The same way the government is paying the IMF and other loans that they have, it's good time to pay the doctors their debts in the same manner, because CBA is a contract and we are going against the government to cite all of them for contempt for not honoring these particular agreements. In the next 3 weeks to 1 month, based on these demands that we've given, if there are no actions are put into them, we are going to give a clear-cut way that these declarations of a nationwide strike will actually take place. This time around, we will not be threatening.
Umugavana we county ya Kakamega Fernandes Barasa bononigo atuguteire ale okubolia we serikali asokona cha abakoli emirimo enibo yabo asekerengo gyeisatu igoro yemya asogwikiranie omorobeli bwo kwagacha chinyomba chekerengo gyensekigima okwana nigo abagakoene kimnege tambukire kyonge chigokongera omwananchi anamono chinga kyechiga obugima bugendete gokonga nabo igo Siria ogosemelia ase amatuko abosyo.
Looking at the proposals in the Finance Act, where taxes payee is going to be increased from 30 to 35%. We are going to have 3% deduction on housing. There is an increase in the fuel levy from a paltry 4% to 16%. What that tells you, it is going to be impossible for us to even imagine that the cost of living will come down. And that is why our position as the council, we are now calling upon the National Assembly to stand up and be guided by the principle of consciousness so that they don't push this agenda on partisan basis.
Haubarenge abateneneri asensemo yobwaga chibwecho bisi ase ebunge ya Lurambi eyogotoka eme county ya Kakamega nigo barachikoimukirwa egetambukiro egetindi ase chinga kibarachikotogikana na mamocho ukwana omokonyi bumunyakirgo ase committee ya CDF Gertrude Mbeyu nigo abagakoeneke binachiyo bisi chonchibeti chikwagachwa ase nchira endonge nonya magayo gotumika chi million emerongo 5 na Ibere ase obwagachi obo.
Tunaenda kufuatilizia zile stalled project ambao ni pesa za watozwa ushuru. Wananchi wa Kenya walitozwa ushuru kufanya hizo projects azika stall huo muda wote, na walokula pesa za wananchi will be brought to book, na kama kuna sheria ya kuwafanya waweze kubeba misalaba yao kisha wajitayarishe pale waliko.
Hii jengo kubaki jinsi ambavyo liko inaonyesha that there was poor coordination between various institutions ambazo ziko charged na oversighting na supervising government projects, and that's why pia hizo tunataka kutumia report yetu kuonyesha the weaknesses within these particular institutions that Kenyans entrusted them with the supervision and implementation and evaluation of government projects.
Serikali ya kaunti ya Kirinyaga bano nigo yesokiri bene nabo igo kwemurungani obwatekana no kwirananse ase ogosangirire kwabo asibabire bakorengania ogosangirira kwa mwaka ulieta nabona iga korengana na barabo nigo omwaka ulia babete bagosangirira $1,000,000 na Isano asibona iga babire bakweneke buna nigo basiririe enibe nyinge eyuere $1,000,000 na Isano nukta kianda kulinde nigo bayaburirie oboteneneri asensemo yogosangiria kwimukia getambukero kibwenete nabo igukobeka emeroberio emekerano asoko enekibuna ogosangiririe ko ngomentekana kule.
Their markets are not cleaned. As they clean the market, as they clean any other places, Mr. Speaker, those departments, they need to collect a lot of revenue from those places. They need to mobilize their team to collect money, Mr. Speaker, and every single cent should go to the county government account.
To give targets where there is no task force to come up with a report, that's where I'm saying there is no seriousness here. So we need seriousness in correction of revenue. The 500, it can be even more than 500 million. So we need the CEC to be serious on this. And I know when he will come up with the task force team, now that is the time now we'll see the fruits of the revenue being corrected by the revenue officer.
We might be having some many loopholes, like on quarries, Mr. Speaker. We believe that we can collect more, and this will be of help unto our people. Mr. Speaker, you remember, as we were in the campaign mode, we used to promise our people that we would deliver. Delivery is about development in our wards and in our county at large. Correction of revenue, Mr. Speaker, will help us deliver these promises.
Mwanchi omurigereria kurwa sorobotiro ni onaikire omoeli obwamangana maya asebire biga kulinde tuska tonyegera chikoraga Chinsa 10 ayona mange ningo yaletere asenchira yowinye kulinde nyora asensemo chichi mitandao asensemo ya Facebook na bagotonyora wetera Ndizi TV News Digital na baga sensemo ya YouTube wetera Ndizi TV News asensemo ya website wetera www.ndizitv.net maiga kamera soko enekibna ebicha na boigo eliogira gwikira sole asenchera ya bene nere John Kebatito berto kubwata nere Joshua Auta asensemo chibiorokelio na inchiria ne Fridah Kerubo gokoganilia obuligerelia obeya.
Ndizi